Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today. And many of you probably know a couple of days ago we finally got the trailer for Daredevil Born Again, the new Disney Plus continuation, apparently, of the Netflix Daredevil MCU show. Specifically, the Daredevil show itself, not just the other MCU shows like Punisher and Defenders and Iron Fist and all of that other shit that I don't care about. Many of you probably don't know this. I haven't really talked about this on the channel. I am not a fan of the MCU TV shows. I'm just not. The only one I've liked is so far what I saw of the first season of Punisher and the second season of Daredevil, what I saw of it that involved the Punisher. I'm a bigger Punisher fan than I am pretty much anybody in any of those shows. Don't give a shit about Jessica Jones, don't give a shit about Luke Cage, don't give a shit about Danny Iron Fist. But Daredevil I'm more open-minded to. I saw the Ben Affleck films back when I was a kid and whatever, and I like that quite a bit. But the thing is, Charlie Cox really does a good job with Daredevil. I just never liked the first season of the show, no matter how much people loved it, no matter how many times people told me I was fucking wrong back in the day for feeling the way I felt. Never been a fan. And this show was announced, and then it was in production, and then it had to be completely like reshot. I don't think it was from the ground up, but I think at least like 70% had been reshot. Very much like the Solo, a Star Wars story situation, once again involving Disney. And from what I understand, they reshot so much to do a lot of changes. Charlie Cox talked about this. And if you don't remember, the show's been off the air for like 8 years since Netflix final season 3 back in the day. But this is supposed to continue that. There's a lot of things that I don't know about, I don't really understand, because I never saw season 3, never saw the second half of season 2. You know what I mean? All the Elektra stuff, that's right past my brain. I don't even know a thing about it. I don't know anything about any of that shit. And frankly, I don't even know where to watch it. It's not listed on IMDb to even be on like Disney Plus itself to watch those Netflix shows. Is it there? Is it not? I don't know. I know you can rent them on Prime. That's about it. But anyway, so Born Again got a trailer that came out, and I gotta tell you, aside from really liking Charlie Cox, and I love Vincent D'Onofrio, even if I don't like his version of Wilson Fisk, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with this season. Like many people, I had no hope for this fucking movie, or this show. Not that I gave a shit about it until I saw the trailer, and saw some things that piqued my interest. But the general consensus of where the characters are and stuff doesn't really matter to me for the most part. I was just kind of shocked by some of the things I saw in here that kind of piqued my interest as a fan who's not even a Daredevil guy, you know? For example, my boy Punisher, towards the end of the trailer, shows up. John Bernthal is coming back, and I'm really excited about that. It looks like this season is going to be bloody and gory, like the old seasons were, which is kind of cool. There's a couple of scenes where, like, Daredevil's fighting a guy in an alley. Another scene where he's breaking a guy's arm backwards, and like you see the compound fracture inside of the guy's sleeve where like a white shirt just starts turning red, you know what I mean? Really cool, really, really fucking cool. But then you had that alleyway fight where Daredevil jumps across an alleyway and like kicks his whole body weight into a dude's kneecap. It was great how that thing bent, that brief moment we got to see it. It looks violent, it looks sick as fuck. But going back to the beginning of the trailer, you have Wilson Fisk and Daredevil sitting down in a very commentary way, you know? And Wilson telling him, hey, I'm mayor now, just like I've seen in the comics back in the day, even though I've never really read a Daredevil comic per se. I want to get into that, I just never have. Not even the Frank Miller stuff has piqued my interest yet. Yet is the fine, hardcore word to say about that. But they have like a meeting together, and Wilson says kind of what we're thinking, like, it's really nice to kind of see you again, despite what's going on. I'm curious what's going to happen with the show. Whatever the new theme song writer was, it's really good. I love the trailer music they picked for here. Very unique in its own way. It feels like Daredevil's coming back, and apparently the Born Again subtitle of this show was a storyline from the Frank Miller era, I believe, that apparently was already done in like season 3, so I don't know anything about that, what they're gonna do this season. I saw like a white and black villain, I think it's a villain, at least it sounds like it according to Razor Fist and some other people online, that the costume looks really familiar to me from like maybe a Spider-Man cartoon or something, like the Drake Bell Spider-Man cartoon from back in like 2012. But I've never seen that hero, villain, whoever that character is, but the costume looks sick on this show, man, for real. But it all rounds back to me for being excited that the Punisher is back. That is my big highlight. I hope we get more of Punisher. Hope we get a season 3 or something new. I heard season 2 wasn't good. Again, I didn't get around to it. I had to cancel my Netflix subscription at the time, so I never got to finish it. But I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with this show and how Punisher seems to have just been not in communication with Daredevil for some reason. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. It's kind of like a morbid curiosity, even though I never saw season 3 or the rest of season 2, like I said. I have this morbid curiosity about this season because it actually looks kind of cool. Even the hardcore critics in the same communities and circles I'm a part of are kind of like, holy shit, Disney might have done something pretty cool for once. And I'm excited about that, you know what I mean? But it's also that same morbid curiosity for me for a film that doesn't really look that good, Captain America Brave New World, that I'm kind of interested in seeing just because I love Harrison Ford and I've wanted to see what Red Hulk would be like since I don't know a whole lot about him in the comics. Just remember seeing him here and there in pictures and background imagery, and that's about it. But Harrison Ford, fucking hell, I love him. I have this morbid curiosity about both things. She-Hulk had Daredevil there, apparently. That was apparently horrible. The clips I saw were horrible. Having him fuck She-Hulk is just even more horrible for him, for us, for everybody involved, but She-Hulk, I guess. But anyway, I'm really hoping that Daredevil Born Again is going to be good. It looks good for somebody like me who doesn't even like most of what I saw from the first TV show from Netflix. I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen. Are you a big Daredevil person? Do you really have a place you could recommend to me? Frank Miller run, some other run? Let me know that down below if you have some kind of recommendation for me to start at. But if you're excited for this show, let me know. It seems like a lot of Daredevil people are stoked about this. And I'm hoping it's good for you guys. I really hope. Even if I don't end up liking it, I hope you guys do. I kind of want to take the time out, if I can make some time, watch the rest of season 2, watch the Punisher stuff I love if I can find that somewhere, then watch season 3 of Daredevil, and then try to watch this. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't give a fuck about Defenders. I don't give a fuck about Jessica Jones or any of those. I will never even bother because I watched like the first episode of all of those shows. They were fucking awful and I never want to encounter them ever again. So that's my opinion of those things in case you gave a shit, even though I am a big MCU fan, not of current day. If you have a brain, you're probably not a fan of current day MCU. But old MCU. I was there in the theaters when Iron Man was coming out in the theater for the first time ever, premiere weekend with my dad. The fucking projector wouldn't even work. The fucking sound was broken. They had to start the whole movie over after like 5 or 10 minutes to fix that because somebody got up and went and complained. It was so bottom of the barrel in the care of the theaters at the time and how little the audiences knew about it aside from Iron Man fans, superhero fans at the time who had already seen Spider-Man and X-Men and everything, that movie didn't have the care put onto it by the theaters or anybody involved in the staff at the theaters locally here the way The Dark Knight did. Dark Knight had come out right before that, wasn't it? I was thinking it came out before Iron Man, and both stole the show for me that year as a kid. So anyway, I've been here since the beginning of the MCU, even if I wasn't a hardcore comic book fan at that time. I am now, obviously, but at the time, I've been here since the beginning. And I can tell you up front, there was like nothing like it. So old MCU stuff is really good. The new shit I could care less about. I just want this to do well. I want Born Again to be good. I want to be able to trust Disney, but between Star Wars and the mishandling of this too, the whole Marvel property in general, I don't know, man. I feel like we're going to have a bait and switch. A lot of people have joked about this. Every fucking show, every fucking property that Star Wars or Disney puts out for Marvel basically starts off like the beginning episodes, maybe 2, will be dedicated to the character the show is named after, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example. And then by episode 3, it's all stolen by some asshat we'd never heard of, that we don't care about. That seems to consistently happen. That pattern is there enough that it's worth recognizing. I'm hoping all the reshoots for Daredevil Born Again removed that and did something better for us this time. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I guess we'll see in March when the show comes out. But anyway, are you excited for the show? Do you think the trailer looks good? Did you like the music like I did? Do you like all the costumes you saw in the trailer for Daredevil? They have like the different helmets and stuff, the devil horn masks or whatever. I love, by the way, before I forget, I almost forgot because it's been a couple of days since I watched the trailer. Towards the end of the trailer, you actually get the new, like, red Daredevil costume. Holy shit, it looks amazing. People that raved over the first Daredevil costume, not the black one, the black, like, Wet Bandit's costume, or like Mortal Kombat costume he had in the first season of the show, but the red one that everybody loved by the end of the first season, including me. I didn't hate it all that much. It wasn't my favorite Daredevil costume ever, obviously, but by the end of this trailer, you get like what looks like the Daredevil costume, like the one I grew up from the Spider-Man animated series episodes about the court cases, the one that I grew up on seeing in the comics and stuff. It was so fucking cool. It looks so sick. And again, the maintenance of that and violence, brutal, bloody violence, again, that doesn't make a great show, but that really, really helps with a bad show for me. Same thing with movies and games and everything. You can have a shitty story as long as you're entertainingly disgusting. I'm all there. Terrifier 3 is a great example of that for me. Anyway, have you guys seen the trailer again? Let me know what you think about it down below. Thank you all for watching, and again, if you're a big Daredevil guy, let me know down below what you recommend for me to start out for comics. I would love to get into this a little bit more. Maybe not for context for the reviews or anything for this show, not that I am going to review it, but just to go in appreciating it more, I want to say. Again, I know there's the Frank Miller stuff, but what else is there out there? Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.